the generator right now, but I've been having to print some more. Turn my printer off because it's just finished. Right, so yeah, I dismantled the gearbox again. I thought, well, I'm gonna live stream it because I'm gonna take it. Doing it in the kitchen actually. I'm gonna live stream it. Only the gearbox dismantling because I just don't want to forget which order the gears go in. You know what I mean? It's easy to. It's actually quite sunny in the kitchen, so I'm gonna make use of the daylight, the sunshine. Let me just put my phone in here. The sun's very bright in the back kitchen. I never get the sun in the back kitchen, except in summer. Oh, flipped the camera. What have I done here? Oh, hang on. Right, so you have to forgive me. I'm a little bit, yeah. Right, so I don't want to make a mess, so because there's a lot of grease in here. I've taken the back cover. I've taken the screws off. And I don't want to get grease all over my tablecloth, if you can call it that. But let me just grab some sheet of paper. I need to reprint my segments anyway, so I'm going to use the segment sheet. Just doesn't matter which way around it is. I'm just going to, so I don't get grease all over the tablecloth. So what I've got to do is find out exactly which socket, which hole is elongated, because one of these holes is elongated, because I noticed that sometimes it works fine and then as soon as it gets jammed, the cog seems to jump out of position. So it's not a one cog, it's a one hole. So what I've got to do is I've got to wash all this stuff out in alcohol or something, and I've got a jar full of alcohol, so let me just grab that. Looking for my paintbrush and I realised it's still in here. So what I've got to do is I'm going to put all the gears. It's a shame about the label being on. I need to get the label off so I'm going to wash everything and so I can get to the bottom of the problem, literally. So alcohol, I don't want to, actually it's probably better if I just hold it in the top and I don't want to melt. I don't know if these gears are nylon. I don't even know if this grease will wash off in alcohol, to be honest with you. But the liner that I put in before, it's not melting. Oh yes it is, maybe it is. I don't want to get this grease all on my hands, it's messy. First stage is to get rid of the grease, because I've got some more gear grease, so I'm going to get some tissue paper. Oh dear me. Just wipe most of it off with, I think I just need to get most of it off with the tissue paper first, because otherwise my alcohol is going to be really greasy. I did actually put a tiny amount of acetone in the alcohol just to help loosen. This is ABS and I don't want to melt the ABS, so that's why I'm not going to leave it in there and soak it, because it might melt and destroy the gearbox completely. But it's time to get rid of all this grease so I can see what's elongated, because that's what's going on. Is I'm going to take all the gears out. So that gear, because the gears are in good shape. I looked at them last time, they're alright, it's just the pinion's moving somewhere. So that's the top gear. Right, and this is the small gear which goes next to the motor, and it's the third, it's actually the second gear, because that'll be the fourth gear. So this is the second gear because that's the first gear on the motor. So this is the second gear, and it's got a double gear arrangement on it. So that's that one. So let's lay them out so that we get them all in the right order. I'll turn it upside down. This is the third gear, and that goes after that one. And this is the main gear, which is on, which I fixed this. If you remember last time I took this apart, I actually sleeved the, there's actually a sleeve inside here, and it's still in there, I think, hope it is. Yeah, it's still in there. I actually put a little metal sleeve in there, and I can see it's still there. So it's not that one that's slipping, it's not this one. This one's fine. What's slipping, I'm pretty sure, is the second gear. The first gear is the one mounted on the motor, and I don't think there's any slop on there. Nope, there's no slop on there. It's I can turn it around here. So this is really greasy, so I've got to wipe this lot out because you can't see the wood for the trees, as they say. I want to check these pinions. So one of these pinions might be loose. Moving out of position. Possibly. I need to get some more tissue because that's saturated with crap. I really need to get some cotton buds. I'm just going to use my brush and a bit of alcohol and out. I think I need the pointy end. First, this video is not really a how to, really, technically speaking, because I'm only I skipped all the part with dismantling the rubber vacuum and just jumped straight into the gearbox because I just wanted to record the gear order so that we know. It's fairly straightforward as long as you remember, but you can't really put them in the wrong place anyway because I think the holes are different. No, actually the holes are the same, but that's got grease all over it now. I just want to get to the bottom of whatever's going on here. Get some alcohol. I think what I need to do is put my jar over the top and start to wash this out properly, because this alcohol was used for a job where I was soaking something, and I decided to hang on to it because it's not cheap to buy nowadays, and it's a good thing I did because I need it right now. Oh, my back is killing me. At some point I'm going to go in the other room and look under my glasses, my watchmaker glasses, to see if I can see what the problem is, because I'm pretty sure it's at this top end, this first gear probably slipping, which has got the most what's the word, stress on it, I suppose. It's a tiny gear, so it's got small teeth, and it's probably this end, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to get some cotton buds now. Oops. Right, I think I can soak the gears. You see, I want to look to see where the damage is, if there's any scraping on the teeth, and I can't see it with all that grease on. So I'm just going to soak these. So that's, I just plop them all into the jar, and wash them for a minute or two in there. put together. I already sorted that one out. There's a bit of wear on that. Look, black stuff, that's off the plastic. But that one won't be slipping. It's probably one of these. I'm probably going to have to use some... there's too much cotton wool on this. Can't get it in the hole, so I'm going to pull some cotton wool off. That should go in the hole. It looks very shallow. It's very shallow. It's not. It doesn't appear like the pin's going far enough in. And I like to bet you that the pin, I have got a feeling. I have a feeling that the pin is popping out of this hole, because it's there was a lot of grease and crap in the bottom of it as well. So I wonder if it's I wonder if this pin, which is that one, the second pin, I wonder if it's actually going all the way in. You know what, I wouldn't be surprised if that's popping out somehow, because it might be moving. I don't know if it is or not. It's not loose. Not loose, which is strange. These pins are pretty tight. Is it possible the motor's moved? Is it possible the motor mount is loose? You know what, I think that's it. I think the motor, these two screws on the motor mount, I think they're frigging loose. It's moving. Ha! Look at this. Right, look at this. This is probably what it is. If you look at them two screws when I twist the motor, if I can hold it still. Right, you watch them screws. I'm just twisting the actual motor. What? The screws are moving. You see that? The flipping screws are loose. That's all it is. That's all it is. The flipping motor mount is pushing away from the gears, and that's why it's slipping. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk it? Something so frigging simple. So all I've got to do is basically remove the motor. I'm going to drill them holes a little bit further. I'm just going to use my knife to route some plastic out. Put some ABS plastic in on the hole, so that this motor is further that way, so that the motor can't back out, can't slide out of the gear position, and then we should have solved the problem. So it's a freaking motor mount. Let me just get my little screwdriver. Right, so there's my screwdriver. I am not going to hold the green part. I'm just going to hold the shaft. And let's see how loose these screws are. Ah, look at that. The screw turns, and I'm not even putting any torque on it. I'm just... the flipping screw's loose. That's all it is. What about this one? Ah, that was loose too. So that's all it is. Who just dumped that? Anyway, I'm just going to tighten them up first. Move them in. I'll show you why. I want to get the gears out there because there's a bit of touch of acetone in. I think them gears are nylon, but I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk melting them. Just get my gears out. It's hard to, it's like fishing this, trying to get the hook in the hole. Right, that's a lot cleaner. Okay, let's just clean them gears up while they're just wet. So that's the first gear. They'll only go on one way anyway. Not cotton bud has had it. There's this other cotton bud. Oops, I've got grease all on me again. Yeah, these gears are in great shape. Look, while I clean it, there's nothing wrong with the gears, it's just the flipping motor mount. So that's that. Now look at the inside gear. There's no chewing up. It's full of grease still. The gear's still got a lot of grease in it. Let's look. This is the first gear, and look at this one. It's not chewed up either. Look. It would have been if I'd left it. It's in good shape. I'm trying to get rid of the grease. So, God, I'm sweating like a... I'll stop the stream and I'll resume it later, okay? Because there's such a lot of grease in here. I haven't got it all out. Hang on. I'm going to drop that. I stabbed my finger the other day. I slashed it right there. And it's stinging now. I've got alcohol in it. It's stinging. Get rid of that old tissue. Oh. I keep missing my bin. Ouch. Oh, that stings. Because it stinks really bad. Oh, there's such a lot of grease on here. I'm going to get more tissue in a minute. Now they went out. Now they use it all up. Oops. I think I'm going to throw them back in the alcohol a bit. Now this is the second gear which goes next to the motor, and as we can see, it's in good nick. Oops, no, dropped it. There's no missing teeth and it's not chewed up. So it's just a motor. Surprise, surprise. Let's put this back on. Did I tighten? I think I tightened this up just to try it. But ideally, it wants to be done so that this motor can't move out the way. Let's see. Oh, I think I've got it upside down. Maybe. That's the right way around. That's a lot better contact. And that one goes like that. Oh, and that one goes in like that, and this one like that goes, I think. I think that goes underneath. This goes, so this is what happens, you see, if you get that goes to the bottom. This one goes on top. This one goes like that. That's right, that's right. Okay, so I turn this thing, this motor at the bottom here, right? Now if I jam this wheel, right, if I jam this wheel so it can't turn, stick my hook in there, and then I turn that motor, it should not slip. It was slipping before. I'm just going to put a bit, I don't want to ruin my gears, but I just want to turn it a little bit so that I know it's not going to. Without the grease, let me just hold that on with a thumb. Hold the wheel and turn this. It's not slipping. Last time I did it about the same, and look at that it's not slipping now. I fixed it. Obviously I'm going to re-grease it all, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to wash my hands because I'm covered in grease. So I'm going to stop the stream and I'll be back probably a bit later. I know there's two of you watching right now. I can see two of you watching. I'll be back in half an hour because I'm sweating like a pig and I want to wash my hands. I want to drink some coffee. I'm going to resume the stream in about half an hour, okay? I've got this software is. So I'm going to tell you what I've decided after doing a lot of thinking and studying on this. There's no way that these holes are elongated because these pins do not turn, right? That's number one. So there's nothing wrong with the holes, they're fine. The gears are fine. The only thing that was wrong with it is the motor mount, which I've taken the motor out. The motor screws were loose. And the other strange thing as well was that both the motor screws were different colours. One was chrome and one was black. Well, go figure that, because the holes, they go straight through and they're screwed directly into the motor, and they're both threaded screws. The holes are the same. So when they made this robot vacuum, they didn't even use consistent screws that were the same colour, which really kind of beats the logic really, because normally you use different coloured screws. You normally use chrome screws for an external thing, that way you have a chrome bezel or something, or a black screw for external things which might be black coloured. But to have different coloured screws means that they just basically use whatever they had laying around, which is not very encouraging. Anyway, I put the gears inside this tube with some fresh alcohol, because I didn't want to get any acetone on them, because I wasn't sure if they were ABS or nylon. So I've been giving them a good shake in pure alcohol to clean them up so I could inspect them, and they're definitely cleaning up because I can't see down there. It's cloudy. Getting them out is going to be a bit of a trick. I have to use my other hook to, I'm going to have to use my little hook to fish them out of here, or I'm just going to tip the alcohol out into something and then get them out that way. Actually, I've got one of the gears out. that's one. And get the others out. Bit awkward. They should be nice and clean now. Let me just check this one, see if it's cleaned up really well. Looks like it has. Yeah, there's no grease on there now. The gears are a lot cleaner now, so I can inspect them properly. And as you can see, there's no damage that I can see. In focus. Yeah, I'm looking at my watchmaker glasses in a minute anyway. I had to get them washed before I could see properly, because you can't really tell when you've got grease everywhere. I can't get this other gear out. I'm going to have to empty the container into something else. I'll just tip it into the this other container. I've got another one, so I'm going to tip them into there. I need to clean this one out first though, because it's a bit... Just clean that one out so it's not going to have contaminants on it. So I'm just going to tip that into there. Oh, there's my other gear. Ha! It was inside the thing. There's two. Stick that one over there because the alcohol's in there now. I'm sure better get this other gear out. Hope. It's a bit wedged in there. I can see now, so I should be able to pull it out. Ah, come on. Nah, got you. Right, so there's the other gear. I'm just going to put my alcohol back in the clean one because I don't want to get the alcohol all mucky if I can help it. This is a lot cleaner than that one. Oh, is that the wrong one? That's the mucky one. Just in case I need the alcohol again, but I shouldn't do. They've been in there for quite a while. Nice long soak. That's why I decided to stop the stream, because I wanted to give it a long time to soak and clean up. Yeah, these gears look immaculate, they look good. I think the one that was slipping was the first gear, which is this one. The one that is coupled to the motor. I'm trying to get this focus in. Come on, stupid thing. It won't focus on me. Come on. Right, yeah. It's good. It looks fine to me. Just there's a bit of crap in that. Got it. Yeah, this one is the only one I need to inspect under my magnifying glasses. The stream's acting up, which means I can't press the stop button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the stream again. Hopefully I can resume it in a little while, because before I start putting this back together again. And the other thing I was going to do when I put the motor, I'm cleaning with alcohol these holes where the screws go. What I plan on doing is putting some ABS plastic on the back of the screws so that they can't undo, because I don't have any thread lock, and it's probably not a good idea to use thread lock anyway on this, because it's stuck directly in the motor, the screws do. What I will do is use a little bit of ABS plastic on the back of the heads of the screws, so that the screws are held in that direction and can't fall backwards, and also can't undo. That will make sure that the gears are meshed really well so that they can't slip again. So that's the plan of action, is because the actual hole, I don't know if you can see this, but the hole where that screw goes, there's a seam right there. You can just about see it there. It looks like it's split where that hole is. It looks a bit like it's split with all the torque that's been on it, and that could be part of the problem. It could have, the motor mount might have moved this way and split the plastic. I'm not sure, but it looks like it's on the other side as well. You can see there's a line right there. It looks like it's cracked. So that could be part of the reason why it was slipping. So it's not just the screws were loose, it's the it's just a seam. I'm not sure if it's a moulding seam. I'll have to look under my watchmaker glasses to see that better, but that definitely looks like a crack to me. So the acetone will bond that back together, but I've got to wash the grease off first. So I'm going to dip my cotton wool into the alcohol, and like that. I'm going to give this a really good clean before I start putting everything back together again, before I actually so that's probably what happened. It's probably split. I dare say it's going to be fixed once I put this back together, because nothing else has moved out of position. And I'm going to use some acetone to fix that crack, if it is a crack, because it looks like it is. Because this is ABS anyway, it will bond that together again. Some crack came out of there then. I'd say that's what happened. I'm going to get a clean cotton bud because that's mucky now. Get a couple out while I'm at it, might need two. Actually, I just realised I've got another half a cotton wood over here. I'm going to use that one first. So I'm going to use some clean alcohol out this squirty thing, because that's got a bit of grease in it in that tube now. So I'm just going to use a bit of clean out this thing. I want to get all the grease off this before I bond it back together again. Might be helpful actually if I squirt directly onto that part that looks like it's cracked. Just wash it out. Right, I'll let that dry because I've got to let the alcohol evaporate, and then I'm going to apply a little bit of acetone to bond that plastic back together again. Now I'm going to look under my magnifying glass and that's yeah, I'm going to stop the stream again for a while. I'll come back shortly because the flipping thing's stuck on me and I can't. I'll be back shortly, hopefully. Yes, it's going to be fixed once I put this back together. Right, I just need to move my stream forward. I'll just leave it paused. I was just checking the stream. You know, I was saying that this plastic is cracked. Well, look at this. Watch this. Oh, focus, will you? Stupid camera. Now look at this. It's cracked. I was trying to mend it with some ABS plastic. This has cracked. Look at the back. Are you watching? Focus. Come on. It has cracked. Look. It's broken. That's why it was slipping. So I have confirmed, and I think that this might be freaking nylon. Because if this is nylon, I can't glue it. But I'm hoping it's not nylon. I hope it's plastic, because if it's just ABS, then I can stick it back together. It's definitely cracked. Look, you can see it come apart there. Look, get the light on it right there. Yep, that's it. It's broken. So, what's the plan of action? Well, number one, I need to determine if this is ABS, and the only way to do that is to get some acetone on my cotton wool, on my cotton bud. Soak that, and check for discoloration on a small inconspicuous area, such as there. So I'm going to hold my cotton bud on that plastic for a second or two and see if it melts it. And look at that, there's a dot. See that dot there? See that dot right there? That means I can stick this back together with acetone. So it's good news. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this crack up, and I'm going to squirt some ABS plastic into the crack, and that will bond everything back together again. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm holding it open and I'm squirting some pink plastic actually. I'm going to squirt pink plastic into this crack. Hopefully I've got rid of the grease. Right. And I'm going to weld it with this plastic. So that's why the screws were loose, because they would so that plastic there that I've just stuck in there, when that dries it will be as good as new. So when I put this back together again, I am going to I'm going to reinforce this area with plastic. I'm going to do it now anyway. The more I put on, the longer it takes to dry though, that's the only thing. So that should be enough to fix this. I don't have any black ABS plastic at the moment, unless I melt some black plastic ABS down. I'm not worried. I'm not really worried. But this basically means that I can't use the robot vacuum until tomorrow. So I'm going to leave it in bits like this until tomorrow. And I'm just going to agitate this a little bit because I want to make sure there's no grease in there. By rubbing the two surfaces together like this, I'm ensuring that it'll make a good bond. Yeah, I think we'll be good once this dries. I'm surprised, I'm actually quite surprised I didn't see that. before. Mind you, remember this whole thing was packed with grease, so I wouldn't have seen it anyway because there was so much grease in there. It was difficult to tell what was going on. That's why it's a good thing I actually washed the grease out of it to see that there was actually a crack there. And now we've figured out why it was not working right. So yeah, I'm going to finish this string completely. I mean, I knew there was something strange going on because there were some times when the robot back it and a carpet to the cutting board of the edge of the room, it would suddenly start to slip, and then it would keep slipping regardless of where it was on the carpet. And then if you kicked it up the arse a little bit, I mean just nudged the bottom, you were forcing the robot vacuum to go forward. That would sometimes jar the gears back together again, and it would work normally for a while. And this is why it was confusing me, because at first I thought I'd fixed it, and then after a while it just suddenly went wrong again. I thought, this doesn't make sense. If gears that normally slip, they normally slip for good, you know, they don't suddenly start working again. Anyway, having examined it and seen that there was the plastic was split, and that explains everything, because it was basically moving out of position, then it was jarring back in position, and that's the reason why it was intermittent. So I don't want that plastic to stick too high up, but it shouldn't foul the motor. I can stick the motor back in now, but I'm not going to tighten the screws up thoroughly till tomorrow. But the reason for putting the motor in is because the plastic I've just stuck on there inside here, I want to make sure that plastic is not going to be fouling the motor, and I want it to seat properly. So I'm going to stick the motor back in, get the screws lined up. I'm put the screws back in, but I'm going to put them in loosely, and then I'll tighten them up tomorrow. So I need some magnets on my screwdriver, because this screwdriver is not very magnetic. Right, so I'm going to just want to make sure that motor mount is fitted properly, and so I'm going to have to leave this on the kitchen table till tomorrow. It's a good thing I'm not going to be cooking anything. I ain't got any money to buy any pizza bread anyway. I'm probably going to have to eat a noodle or something. Oh damn it, I can't get there. It's not getting in the hole properly. Oh, we're in the hole now. I'm backing it out a bit because I don't want to tighten it until that plastic dries. Right. Right, so I need to move this motor as far forward as possible, so I'm just going to press on the back of the motor, loosen the screws a bit. They're not tight anyway. Just wiggling it about and moving it as far forward as possible. And just gently snug them up without any pressure, and we'll just leave that now overnight. and then tomorrow I can put the gears back in now, I suppose. Actually, the other thing I was going to do was put plastic on the backs of the screws here, a bit of plastic there, you know, my ABS plastic around there, and make a C shape up to the other screw of plastic all the way around there, so that it would bond to this plastic and prevent this whole mechanism from sliding back. The other thing obviously is having more reinforcement on this area, because this is where it's split right here. It's a very thin area. It's not that thin, but I want to reinforce this area, and I also want to reinforce this area because this is very thin here, so this could split as well at some point. So I'm going to clean that with alcohol. My cotton bud's dried up, so I'll get the other end. Might as well do it all while I'm at it, because I want to make sure that this doesn't break again. So I'm just going to get this alcohol, clean that area. So anybody that's never made ABS slurry, you simply get some ABS plastic and you soak it in a container, an airtight container with acetone, and it melts into, it turns into liquid plastic, and then you just basically stringe it onto the area that's broken, and providing it is ABS, it will stick back together as good as new. I've got quite a lot of it in these tubes. I've got loads of it melted down for when I need it. I just wish I had some black, but I don't, so I'm just using pink or red. It actually goes pink when you put acetone in it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bead between there and there as well, just to make it stronger. Like that, and I'll just put a bit more on this end. I'm just thickening this plastic up a bit, and so that should, when it dries, it'll be really rock hard. Now, if it's not sticking right, it would have lifted off on the needle. If it wasn't bonding to this, it would have lifted off on my needle by now. So it's definitely sticking. So we're going to be good. I just want to clean the surface up here, because I don't want to get plastic on this mating surface, because the mating surface is where this cap goes in the back, so we don't want to get any plastic on there. So I can put a little bit on the back of the screw for now if I want to do, because it'll be hard by tomorrow. It'll give it a bit of back pressure on them screws. And notice that the motor itself is got this plastic on the base on the back here. That's supposed to hold the motor forward as well, but it's not really even in contact with the motor. So I don't know why they put that there, because it's not even touching the motor, so it's not giving the motor any back support. Oh shit, look what I've done. I forgot, I stuck my finger in it. It's all on my finger now. Ouch, that stings as well. I've got to put that back on again. That stings. Acetone really burns. I've got a cut right there as well. Ouch. I'm going to put this back on again now. I went and touched it with my finger. Right, stop talking and don't stick your finger in it. it'll probably be touch dry in about an hour, but my syringe is empty, look. So I'm going to have to fill that up again. So I'll move this aside a minute. Now, fill this. My finger. Ouch. Need some acetone without getting it in my finger, because I've got to clean my finger up without. Right. Bloody acetone's empty now as well. Now I've got to watch I don't burn myself. It's going to sting if I get it in the cut. I'm trying to get this plastic off my finger. Luckily I didn't get any in my cut. Right. So wrong one. Where's it? I've got to refill this. This is the consistency. It's almost drying in mid-air, so you've got to have it quite close, otherwise it dries as it's going in. I think that will do. In this warm weather it dries pretty fast. And I want the air bubble to go to the top, so I'm going to stick this in the end. Like that. Turn it over. I haven't pushed it all the way in because I want the air bubble to go up to the top, otherwise it'll all come out the needle end. Just stick it in a bit like that. And wait for that bubble to move. Otherwise it's going to come out the end. So I'll get some tissue on the end of my needle so it doesn't all ooze out everywhere. And wait for the bubble to go up. It's coated the inside of the tube so you can't see the bubble anymore, but there's definitely a bubble going up there. I can't see the bubble. Well, we'll take the needle off. And I should be able to push the air out now. Actually, what I should do is, when I do this, is get my container again, like this. Take the lid off. Stringy plastic. And squirt the air out, and hopefully any plastic comes out will go back in the tube. So let's try that. Oh, it's working. Oh. There we go. Otherwise I make a big mess. Right. all done. Put the needle back on. And my bit of wire so that it's stuck to my cotton wool. Put my wire in so I don't get a blocked tube. It blocks up all the time, then I've got to heat it up with a lighter. Right, there we go, I've got a full tube now. Oh, this mess will dry out, and then I can pick it up and it will go dry and just put it back in, it'll melt down again. So yeah, so that was it. That was why this thing was skipping, because the freaking plastic was cracked. And how the hell it got cracked, I just do not know. Doesn't make sense. Just cheap junk, I suppose. Under-engineered. You know, they talk about over-engineered things. They're great because they last forever, but this is definitely under-engineered. Designed to fail. I don't want to put any grease in this until tomorrow, so I'm going to put this all this lot on the screws. These are the screws for the motor, for the gears. I'm going to put them in here in the lid, and I can put my gears back on for now without the grease. I'll just re-grease this tomorrow. So let's see, it's middle gear, and it's this gear, and it's this gear. That's right. So that's how it goes on, like that. We should be good once that's dried. So, at first I thought it was a seam, but it wasn't, it was a crack. Right, so I'm going to put this in the kitchen, and I've got to wait 24 hours for that to dry out.